So what happens in those rhymes? Even if we are not showing them as heterosexual person, the general idea is Jack and Jill. So they are probably heterosexual. Why not Jack and say Jackie, or Jill and Julie? Why not that? Why did we like kind of bring only Jack and Jill when up the hill?
Since you talked about Homonoi, the beautiful initiative you people have taken, tell us more in detail what work you have been doing in Homonoi.
So Homonoi we formed in 2018 November. We are going to complete 2 years this November. Though we have been working on LGBTQ issues since 2013 and individually in our own capacities. So I think through Homona we do a lot of stuff, various things. Say we focus on community meetings. We go to different locations in Assam and have this community meetings where we talk to people about their issues of them living as a queer person in Assam, in remote place in Assam, how it is like for them. And you just, the idea is being as a support. When we to go for these monthly meetings, we talk about various issues, how and we kind of support each other. And we also do other events like say sports. We do sports meetup through sports activity. We go on picnic. We have done an art exhibition. We have done a cultural program. There are like various areas, even like campaigns. Like there is a hug campaign that we did last year or last year I think. So the idea is um, to engage with the people in large about human sexuality and gender identity. At the same time, also to create a space for the community where they can come and talk about or just come and random chit chat. It's kind of a support system that we are trying to create, and at the same time also engaging the community. And recently with the whole COVID situation, what we have done is that we are identifying people from the community who are in need of financial issues, say financial issues to pay for their food, rent, college fees, or their hormones. Say some person who is doing this sex reassignment surgery, like like say physically like kind of going through medical procedures to affirm or I don't like the word change, but not a lot of people may understand this, so I'm using the word change. So change, a proper word for change would be affirm, AFFIRM. Please use that word. I'm using change just to make it clear. So to change their body. So the correct language here would be affirm. To affirm the body of how they want their bodies to be. And for that you also need to it's a long procedure. There's a lot of things under it. They have to people transfer at the start with hormones. So we are also supporting people to get the hormones are also not available everywhere and it gets very expensive. So and one has to take continuously, just like one has to take the diabetes injection or medicines continuously, right? So just and hormones are also something similar like this. So we are supporting people that way, and also we have come with a phone line, a 24 into 7 free helpline for the people. I'll share about the helpline at the end of it. Purpose is a lot of people are we are locked in our home and we have nowhere to go. A lot of spaces are closed down and people are feeling very isolated, even like more now, especially the LGBT community. So the idea is people can call us up for just a random chit chat or any issue they're facing at the home. And if they are going through any mental health issues, we connect them with professional mental health therapists who are LGBTQ friendly. So this is the idea behind coming up with the helpline. So I think this is something that we are like currently we are doing. And yes, we also go to colleges, universities, and if there are any colleges, universities you want us to come and give a lecture or deliver a sensitization workshop with your friends, any space. It can be also with a group of friends. We will be happy to happy to do that.
So Shiv, we recently put out a story on our Instagram page. Like we asked people to put out questions for you, and there
Hmm.
are some questions that people have put out. And
Hmm.
the first question is like, is gender fluidity and gender neutral the same?
Not exactly. So gender neutrality is more like saying we are kind of not putting like not kind of going through the binary of gender. Like say if I may say like generally pronoun that we use is he him for a man and her she for a woman. So gender neutrality can be like say they them, not wanting to be he or a him addressed as he or a him or she or her. So that is more like gender neutrality. It can happen with someone's gender identity also. They might not want to be like seen like just as a male person or a female person, on based on the appearance or through their way of expressing their gender. So I want to just add one thing here. So there is whole thing called gender identity of how we identify as, and there is this one concept called gender expression. So I have my beard and everything in place. People will see me as a male person, but and this is also my like this is also how I want to express my gender by keeping my say beard, or or something or the other, like doing the whole masculine dressing. So these are all my like gender expression. Gender expression can also happens mostly through our outwardly appearance. Outwardly appearance, that is called gender expression. So like say if I wear a lot of feminine clothing, doesn't mean I'm a trans woman. So let us not confuse here. Gender expression is something different. Even a heterosexual. So for example, I will give an example of TikTok. So in TikTok, we see a lot of people wearing like lipstick or sari, blouse, and all of these things. Na? And we see a lot of like who we see as man. We don't know whether they identify as man or they identify as gender neutral or gender fluid or trans women or even trans men. We don't know any of it. But our understanding of gender sees them as a male person. And we also see that they are doing a lot of feminine like clothing or dancing around or doing this whole Bollywood scene, enacting the scenes from this whole like Devdas, the whole scene between Paro and Chandramukhi. A lot of male people, like how we see them as male people, they also do it, and they wear lipstick, necklace, makeup, and like jewelry and clothes, sarees, and everything. They may or may not be like trans person or anywhere under LGBTQ umbrella. They can be a heterosexual cisgender person. That is their gender expression. So gender expression also comes under all the gender identity and all the sexualities. I am a gay person and I identify as a cisgender gay person, and my gender expression can be say wearing feminine clothing. Doesn't mean that I identify as a woman or I want to be as a woman, not that, but that is my gender expression. I hope I'm a bit clear. So if I'm not clear, please let me know. And I think the prime example is TikTok. A lot of people, a friend of mine, she told me, she gave a status on WhatsApp saying that, "Are hijab bilake ki Korea se." Then I called her out. I told her, "Mana, why are you using the term hijra in a derogatory way? Hijra is a completely a big community, and they are historically marginalized and discriminated. They don't have opportunities. Let us not use hijra as in a derogatory way. So it becomes more difficult then." And her reason for using that was that no, নহয় মই মানে হিজৰবোৰক মানে কোৱা নাই, মই সিহঁতক কৈছো মানে সিহঁতেতো হিজৰা নহয়, কিয় এনেকে কৰি আছে? So that was her idea of gender. She still thought that a person with beard and everything wearing a sari, like somewhere for her it is like the whole idea of real hijra and a fake hijra. That is what she thought. But not the person is not a may not be a hijra person. The person is just expressing like is just their gender expression. The person can very well be a heterosexual cisgender person, but that is just the way of expressing their gender expression. Doesn't mean that they are like mocking the trans community or something or the other. So I think a lot of us are like confused in that area. And whenever we see like especially a male person wearing sari, we automatically assume that the male person is either gay or a hijra person or a transgender person. It may not always be the case. It can be a
Yeah.
cisgender heterosexual person and also if a gay person wears sari doesn't mean that they are trans or hijra. They are gay, their sexuality is gay, their identity is just cisgender identity as a male person, and that is just the way of expressing of the gender expression. So I think so here it can be like a neutral. So our gender expression can be through neutrality. So supposedly we can wear certain clothes which like say I think Ranveer Singh, when we see Ranveer Singh, his gender expression. So Ranveer Singh, we see him as a heterosexual person, as a cisgender heterosexual person, right? And we sometimes see him wearing very like long skirts, or sometimes clothes which necessarily may not be masculine clothing or feminine clothing. So, very gender neutral kind of clothing, and sometimes very fluid kind of clothing. Fluid as in he will wear a coat above a masculine cloth and he will wear a skirt below. So that is called fluidity. That is called fluidity, and neutrality is something which you cannot probably make out. Whether that's so it's kind of somewhere similar, but there is very small differences in neutrality and in gender fluid. So if I'm gender fluid, I can identify as man and women both. So that is called gender fluidity. I identify as man and women both, or probably like with all the genders. So that will be gender fluidity. And gender neutrality is something like not kind of falling for those boxes of gender, not identifying with those whole like spectrum of gender, and using like kind of so that is more like gender neutrality. A lot of people nowadays, they use the pronoun they them, even if they are not transgender, or even if that is just the way of you making gender neutral pronouns very used to it. So I think a lot of people use gender neutral pronouns. So if you ask me what my pronouns are, I think you can call my gender pronoun can be neutral, or he, him, or they, them. You can use this pronoun for me. And for other some people, it can be like both, any pronoun: he, him, she, her, they, them. They're fine with anything. So that is something I want to say. Yes.
Uh, one more question that came up on our story. It's been so long, but still, like in India, LGBTQ is still such a issue of big concern. Like people,
Like the people who are not accepting.
people are not normal about it yet.
Mm. See, my understanding and my thought process goes that uh, we do not have enough resources or materials where people can, educate themselves or study about the subject matter of LGBTQIA plus identities. And in when we like, if I give you the curriculum of schools, when I think all of us we read we have read poetry, we have read rhymes. So what happens in those rhymes? There is Jack and Jill. Even if we are not showing them as heterosexual person, the general idea is Jack and Jill. So they are probably heterosexual. Why not Jack and say Jackie,
Yeah,
or Jill and Julie? Why not that? Why did we like kind of bring only Jack and Jill when up the hill? So so these are also the ways how children lap up like in the whole idea, and where the whole issue of people not being aware of LGBT issues come in the it. And slowly, when we go more in our English courses, in our story books, we always read the pronoun he, him, she, her. We never see the pronouns of they, them, or the characters possibly being queer, or the characters possibly being trans. We never see any of it in our storybooks. And there have been a lot of poets especially who are like out there out of the closet, and who are like gay. I think Oscar Wilde is a gay person. I'm not too sure. I'm sorry if I'm wrong, but a lot of English poets, they identify as gay, and most of their poems are also very homoerotic. They write on a lot of like same-sex thing. But in school, when we have read a lot on all these poets in school and even in higher secondary. But do our teachers say that about the sexuality? We have this brief about the authors. Acha, these author is this is from England, some other place, some European countries, and this is about the life. But do the teacher make the effort of telling the students that they had a male lover, and they identify as a gay person or a bisexual person or a lesbian person or trans person? Do our teachers say that, said that to us? Never. And when we read reproduction, in reproduction we read greatly about menstruation. But in the whole menstrual cycle, do we talk about trans person being menstruating? Say, trans man also menstruate. But do we talk about the reproductive issues of trans men? It comes only as female, female, female. Oh, female person will bear children. Female person will have menstruation. So these are all the ideas that school books have. And when we read in social science books, we read about like family, nuclear family, extended family, big family. I am myself a teacher. I teach students. I give like tuitions. So in all of that, I see like this big family: grandfather, grandmother, mother, father, like a sibling, and I. So there is no like same-sex parent or grandparent or even sibling who is gay or trans. It's very heteronormative, I want to say. Like heteronormative meaning very focused only on heterosexuality. And I want to say about certain like say misconception people have. A friend of mine who identifies as a lesbian woman, she was asked by a friend of her whether when she told her female friend that she identifies as a lesbian, she was asked, "Oh, so do you have menstruation or not?" So she had that idea that lesbian women cannot menstruate, or or bisexual people has both organs.
Yeah.
That is incorrect and wrong information people have, and a lot of misconception. Yep. So when we talk about the whole non-acceptability of LGBTQ issues, or it being a very big issue for a lot of people, we also have to see like the whole the structure behind it, where it is coming from. Uh, the books we read when we just start to go to our schools, the poetry, and then again reproduction, other things, and slowly when we what we watch on TV, a lot of children, they watch cartoons or animation movie. So what is shown in the cartoons? Prime example I think I want to give for very recent thing is Chota Bheem. Chota Bheem, what happened? Why I'm talking about Chota? Because my nephew came home and then he loves Chota Bheem, and I was watching Chota Bheem with him, and then I came across this one trend on social media, which had justice for Chutki. So what happens is that Chota Bheem gets married to the princess Indumati. So when we are saying now that when we are using the whole trend, Chota Bheem is shown as a heterosexual person in the movie. And there is a whole of course, it's done in a jest, the whole justice for Chutki thing. But then what it shows to us? It shows to us the whole culture of heterosexuality and how it is, right? So a lot of parents, why I'm saying is that a lot of parents or even friends or people in general had this idea that why do we have to force or throw LGBTQ issues on children? Let them, let us save their innocence. People have this all
Yeah,
misconception, but they are okay with going with the whole trend of, Chota Bhim being in a love affair with Chutki and then marrying Indumati. And there's a whole trend of justice for Chutki. So would we, how willing are we to show Chota Bhim in a relationship with there's another male character in the cartoon or in the animation? That will go call for a huge backlash. People will go, "Arey Baba, why are you kind of ruining the mental, the innocence of the children by talking about queer people?" So this is the bias we have. This is a judgmental attitude we have about the queer community. If you think that queer people shouldn't be taught about, then heterosexual should also be not taught about. Let us not get into the idea. And when we are kind of propagating heteronormativity, then it's also completely all right to talk about heterosexual, homosexuality, bisexuality, or transgender people.
In my opinion,
In my opinion.
in my opinion,